friends, welcome to the .NET interview community. I'm your host Nirbhay Chauhan, a developer, author and a trainer passionate about leveling up the skills. Whether you are gearing up for an interview or simply want to deepen your understanding of the .NET technologies, you have come to the right place. I have authored several interview preparation books which are available on Amazon, and the links of these books are given below in the description box. So let's dive into today's question and see how we can tackle it together. So friends, our today's question is explain the difference between read-only and content fields in C#. So friends, as we have already learned about the read-only and content, these are the keywords in C#, and these are used to define a variable type, like how the behavior of a field will be in C# programming language. So this is a very essential basic, and it's being asked in many of the interviews, and it's very essential to know the answer of it, and a clear answer for this question is expected from the candidate. So as we all know that the value of constant field must be known at the compile time, and that's where the constant fields are come into picture. You initialize it directly where it's declared, and wherever the constant value that you are using, that will be getting replaced with the actual value during the compilation of the code. And for the read only, the value of read only field can be set either at compile time or more at the runtime. So every instance, whenever it's getting initialized, it will be having its own copy, and it can be a constant for that object lifetime. So as in constant, the value are constant for the lifetime of the application, whereas for the read only, the value will be constant for the lifetime of that object. And for read only, there are two possibilities. It can be a class constant or it can be an object or instance constant. So depends on how it being initialized. So let's understand one more time about the constant. The constants are compile time constant. You initialize directly where it's declared. The compiler literally substitute the value wherever the code is used in your code. Constant is used in your code. Think of it as a textual replacement of the constant values. The constant fields are implicitly static. This means that they belong to the type, class or struct, not specific to the constant. Means if you want to access the constant variable that is declared in a class, you can simply use it with the class name, then dot, and then the constant value or the constant name given to the variable. The accessibility, it can be accessed directly used by the name. Let's see in the read only part. In the read only part, the value is more commonly initialized at the runtime. The key is that it can only be set at once. For instance field, this is typically done in the constructor while initializing the object. For static read-only field, it can be done in inline or in the static constructor. So the static read-only field will be at the class level, and the non-static read-only field will be at the instance level. So that's where the accessibility come into picture, that when you have to access instance read-only field, that time you have to use the in dot and the field name. So that's how you are going to access it. Now this is about the constant read only. Let's dig deeper into the differences and understand with the characteristics of read only and constant. So for the value setting constant, we can see that the value must be known at the compile time. for constant, and value can be set at the compile time or the runtime, but it will be set only at once. You cannot change it after setting it once. Now the next is the scope part. The scope is it's implicitly static, so it belongs to the class and not to the instance. The constants. The read only can be static or it can be instance level as well. And the memory allocation or the allocated memory in the static memory segment, whereas for the read only it depends on whether it's static or instance. The static memory segment and the instance will go with the object instance. The next is when. When means whether it will be evaluated at the compile time or it will be evaluated at the runtime. So the constants are evaluated at compile time, whereas the read only are evaluated at the runtime. The next is uses. For value that are truly constant and will never change, example is mathematically constant or the compile time flags, or any values that are going to be constant across the lifetime of the application will be come under the constant uses. The value that will be determined at the runtime but remain constant after the initial assignment, then that value are kind of configurable, but the value will be set in the constructor. For an example, if let's say we are initializing an object of employee, so over there we have a primary key that is already being assigned to the employee, and that value is not going to change throughout the life cycle of the employee. So that is a read-only value and that cannot be changed across the lifetime of that employee object. So that's where the usage is. Now let us know that whether a read-only fields can be static, yes or no, in the comment section below.
So friends, there you have it. I hope you have gained some valuable insight from this video. To hit that like and subscribe button to stay updated on our latest content. And if you have any questions or want to discuss further, feel free to leave a comment below. Plus, let's connect. Follow me on Medium and LinkedIn for exclusive content. The link is given below in the description box. See you in the next video.